noticed how movies can, like, hold a mirror up to society and sometimes reflecting our norms and sometimes kind of shattering them?
Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly what we're diving into today with Revenge of XXL Wife. Have you heard of this one?
I have. I'm really excited to dive into this one.
Yeah, it's a revenge comedy.
Okay.
But what got me hooked is this film review highlighting its unexpected depth.
Interesting.
We're talking humor, social commentary, character development, all wrapped up in one. So get ready, because I think this is going to spark some interesting thoughts.
Absolutely.
About how we see ourselves and how we see others.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Okay, good.
You know, Revenge of XXL Wife takes a familiar genre, the revenge comedy, and flips the script by infusing it with this powerful message about body image and societal expectations.
And the story centers on Sandra, right?
Yes.
And she is this overworked and underappreciated housewife who just decides to shake things up. What pushes her to that breaking point?
It's like she's constantly underestimated and judged because of her size. And everyone in her life contributes to that feeling.
Wow.
Her journey is about so much more than just getting back at individuals.
Right.
It's about challenging these deeply ingrained societal norms that have held her back for far too long.
That's what makes it so interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a lighthearted comedy.
It's not, no.
It seems to tap into this feeling of being boxed in by expectations.
Absolutely. And I think that's why a lot of people will connect with this film.
Yeah.
Because so many of us have felt that pressure to conform to certain ideals.
Like what?
Whether it's about our appearances, our careers, even our personal lives.
It's like the film gives a voice to those frustrations that so many of us feel, but don't always express.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And she's not portrayed as, you know, this flawless superhero.
Right.
She's a real woman with vulnerabilities and strengths. That makes her evolution even more impactful.
And we find ourselves rooting for her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
every step of the way.
I was reading in the review that, like, her transformation affects those around her.
Yes.
Her husband, friends, even her neighbors.
They all play a role in highlighting the societal pressures that she faces.
It's not just about her personal revenge.
No, it's not.
It's about how one person's journey can inspire change in others.
And that's where the themes of body image and self-acceptance become so central. It makes us look at our own biases.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, consider how we might contribute to these societal pressures even if we don't realize it.
I love how the review calls out the clever use of symbolism, with size serving as a metaphor for the constraints that society places on individuals. What struck you about that aspect of the film?
What struck me was how this metaphor, like, isn't just hinted at, it's woven into the whole film.
Oh.
From the way she moves in spaces to how other characters react to her. Her size is like a visual representation of all those limitations that are put on her.
It's like they're making you think about it.
Yeah.
Without you even knowing. It's not in your face.
It's subtle, but it's there.
Did the review mention anything about the director?
They did.
And how their vision contributed to the message?
They praised the director for their use of visuals. Specifically, they talked about the contrasts. To show Sandra's transformation.
Give me an example.
Like in the early scenes, her life has this muted color palette.
Interesting.
Almost like her surroundings are mirroring how trapped she feels.
Oh, so they're using color.
To show her emotions.
Right. And then as she starts to embrace her power, things change.
What happened?
They described a scene where she stands up for herself. And the lighting changes completely.
Wow.
It bathes her in this warm glow.
I love it.
Like her confidence is illuminating everything.
It's like a visual metaphor.
It is. And this visual shift, it's also in her wardrobe.
And how she even carries herself.
Powerful.
It's showing the audience how inner transformation can be seen on the outside.
Yeah, I can see that scene so clearly in my head just from your description.
It's a powerful film.
Speaking of amplifying emotions, what about the music?
Oh, the music is amazing.
Okay, what did they say?
They loved it.
Really?
The composer did an amazing job.
Yeah.
They said the music just perfectly complements the emotions of the film.
So, like, if she's struggling...
Yeah, you hear these soulful melodies.
I can hear that.
And then when she becomes more powerful, the music gets more upbeat, almost triumphant.
Oh, wow.
Mirroring her journey.
Music is so powerful.
It is.
Did they mention if the music ever, like, takes center stage?
Not really. They said it's very thoughtfully integrated.
Okay.
It never overpowers the dialogue.
Right.
But it's always there enhancing the emotional impact.
So it sounds like they've created this tapestry of storytelling.
Yes.
With the visuals, the music, the dialogue.
It all comes together.
But even with all these amazing aspects, I imagine there were some criticisms.
You're right. There were a few.
Okay, like what?
The reviewer thought the film relied on some predictable tropes. Especially in the last part.
Okay.
And they thought some of the supporting characters could have been fleshed out more.
Okay, so they were looking for a little more depth.
Yeah, a bit more complexity.
Makes sense. I guess even with the best concepts.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall back on familiar things.
It happens.
But ultimately, it sounds like the film's strengths are in its message.
Definitely.
And how it shows Sandra's journey so authentically.
Yes, and the reviewer's overall verdict was really positive.
Okay.
They loved the film's fresh take on the revenge comedy and the social commentary and that message of self-acceptance.
Was there any scene or line of dialogue that stood out to you in the review?
You know, they didn't quote anything specific.
Okay.
But the way they described Sandra's transformation really stuck with me.
What about it?
The way she reclaims her power and just defies expectations, that really resonated with me.
What about you? What stood out to you? For me, it was the whole, like, size as a metaphor thing.
Yeah.
It's just so clever, and, like, I feel like this movie could start some really interesting conversations.
Oh, definitely.
About how we see ourselves and others.
I think this is a film that stays with you.
Yeah.
Even after it's over.
It makes you think.
It does.
So for our listeners out there, Revenge of XXL Wife sounds like a must-watch.
I think so.
It's entertaining, but it also has this deeper message.
And, you know, it's a good reminder
that
learning and growth can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Even a movie that seems like just entertainment.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here, right?
Absolutely.
Uncovering those hidden gems.
Finding knowledge in unexpected places.
So to wrap things up, I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
How does Revenge of XXL Wife make you rethink things?
That's a good one.
Like societal expectations, self-acceptance, all that.
Well, I think it makes you look at the areas in your own life where you might feel limited.
By outside pressures.
Exactly. Or judgments.
Like what steps can you take to be more like Sandra?
To embrace your authentic self.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
Go see the movie. Let us know what resonated with you.
We'll be here.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep challenging those norms.
See you then.